Marriage is an institution that is as old as man, and it is very pertinent for us to understand it very well, nurture it very well, do whatever we can to sustain it. Where we need to work on it for betterment, we do that. So, what is this thing we call marriage? Is it a thing? Is it a living force? Let's reflect together. Marriage, as generally perceived and presented, is the union of mutual agreement between two consenting adults of the opposite sex for the purpose of creating a home, of establishing a home where the two hearts will beat as one, where they nurture one another, help one another, assist one another to be able to get the best out of this life we've got to live. Yes, there's a short time to live, but while you and I are at it, let's make the best of it. And that is part of the reasons why marriage was established. So that the two will work together, assist one another. That's what, according to the Bible, God says, let's provide the man a help meet for him. And if someone is to help you and help you to complement you as a help meet, an appropriate help, an acceptable help, a functional help, an effective help for him. So the couple have to work at that to understand they are there for one another. So these two, having met themselves, having discussed it, having worked at it, they agree to get married. And for the functionality of today, they sign the dotted lines. But in the olden days, according to our culture in this part of the world, and as I studied in other parts of the world, the parents of the two consenting adults will meet. They are what is called traditional marriage, where the parents on both sides will show the agreement that the two should marry, should get together because they have considered all the criteria. The parents of the groom will ask the lady, do you really love our son? Are you ready to make a home with him? Are you ready to accept him for who he is? You know he's not perfect. And vice versa. The parents of the groom will ask the lady, when the lady is introduced, say, you're welcome. But now we take it to the next level when we now have the legal system. They will now go to the registry to sign the dotted line of mutual agreement. And for the Christians, they still go to the church, and the Muslim, they have what's called Nikai, where they call their spiritual leaders to solemnize the marriage after what is called the engagement, the parental consent and parental prayers. So the marriage will be nurtured, and it's meant for those who feel that they have needs that can be met by their marriage. And one of the needs of man is companionship. We've known that from the beginning. We all need somebody to lean on. You need helpers in this world. You cannot leave this world alone. But you cannot just have anybody, especially as you are growing up. So you get someone and you see your lines of compatibility. You share your likes and dislikes and see, apart from the physicalization. You check your spiritual compatibility, emotional compatibility, health compatibility, and so on. Then you agree to marry. So it is quite unwise for two consenting adults to get married without knowing what exactly marriage is and what it is not. I've explained what marriage is. Well, marriage is not just love and sexual satisfaction, or just having somebody to bear your name, or just changing surname, or just having compound name, or just having somebody to live with. It's more than just a dotted line of the ceremony. It is a lifelong relationship. It's a lifelong psychological, emotional relationship which have to be understood and nurtured that way. It is also a living organism. A living organism says that it fits, marriage fits, but marriage, as you know, is just, we have the physical exhibition that you say we do the wedding and the two are now married. But the original marriage is spiritual, because it is your heart that you are united in your mind. That's the two hearts beating as one. If it's only physical marriage, that's why two of you can be together and you'll be far apart. Because remember, the mind makes the body, the mind makes the being. So if two of you are together but your minds are not together, then you're not married, you're far apart. They're two different worlds. That's not marriage. You share your thoughts, you share your emotions, you share your feelings, what you feel. Even by the time your partner comes near you, you will have sensed whether you're happy or unhappy. You try to do whatever you can to reverse the situation. So marriage feeds. It feeds on love, it feeds on tolerance, it feeds on endurance, it feeds on empathy, it feeds on emotional balance, it feeds on compromise, it feeds on so many other things, so many ingredients that nurtures love, understanding. And you must be ready to give it. Remember, if a baby does not eat balanced diet, like we say in science, a baby cannot grow. So if the things needed by marriage is not given, forgiveness, understanding, listening here, explicit communication, great concern are some of the nourishment for a good marriage. Then it grows. That's why by the time you see a couple that is 3 years old, happily married, working well at it together, you see the difference in every area of their life, psychologically, spiritually, morally, even in the office. They will say, wow, it's good to be married. The same with the lady. It brings out more maturity, more understanding, a lot of positive changes emanate from the life of the couple. So the marriage grows. Marriage matures you more. Marriage makes you to become a better person, become better understanding. Then the affairs of this world phase you less, because you already have a heart to share with you. So it also generates waste products, just like living thing generates waste. And those wastes include habits, desires, behaviors, likes, dislikes, interests, and so on. Because by the time you get married, you grew up with some attitudes and habits and behaviors and likes and dislikes, some idiosyncrasies and so on. But you remember your partner also has his or her own. So by the time two of you are not together, you now try to blend this together. So the one that you see is incompatible with the well-being of your home. Two of you have to do something about it and get rid of it. That is waste. And that's why you hear, so has changed. He's not doing this again. He's not doing that again. It is because he's now a married man that is more responsible. He has to make some sacrifices, which are some of the things he has to give up for the joy of the home. Now, what are some of the purposes of, because if the purpose of something is not established, its abuse is not far-fetched. It can easily get abused. But if the purpose is established, then it can easily be nurtured and sustained. So one of the purposes of marriage is companionship, is partnership, and is assistance, readily available assistance. We all need somebody to lean on. We all need help. We all need assistance. But you can't just get assistance from just anybody. So the best person that can assist you most in this world, with everything he or she has got, is supposed to be your spouse. That's why they ask for next of kin. Your next of kin ideally is supposed to be your spouse when you are married, because it's the one that bears the responsibility. When you are sick, you heal, it's the one that will stay with you in the hospital when your body asks for it, and he or she can do that. So it's the one that will run up and down for your well-being, because it's your soulmate. So the second one is that is for us to be able to achieve self-fulfillment, self-actualization in life. Your partner is supposed to help you with your dreams, with your goals and your visions in life. So it's not that when you marry, your life starts to depreciate. No, your life is supposed to appreciate at a faster level. Marriage is supposed to be a catalyst to help you, because you now have another heart. So that's it, two hearts acting as one. Two heads are better than one. Now you have two heads, your spouse's brain and your brain. You brainstorm together a lot of things and you're able to achieve fulfillment of dreams and visions. That's why they normally say behind every successful man there's a woman. It's not just any woman, they are referring generally to the wife, to the spouse. And that's why in many instances when you hear successful, when they give speeches, they will say, oh, and help me to thank and appreciate my wife or my husband for standing by me, for encouraging me, for the sacrifices made for this and for that. That's what it's supposed to be. Thirdly, marriage is supposed to be for unification of mind, spirit, purposes, and activities. The life is not my own. This one, no, it's our own, because whatever you do as a married person affects the well-being or the growth and development of your home. So marriage affects your thinking, every of your activity. You can't just do anything you like anymore. You can't just go anywhere you like anymore. Carry your spouse and that's because you cannot go somewhere and they ask your spouse, where is your husband, where is your wife? I don't know. You just left to me. It sounds stupid and foolish. You don't know where your husband went. How can you know where your wife went? So, and these days of technology, high technology and communication. So you can do video call, you can say that where are you? Even if there is no network there are different ways in which you go to the nearest place with network and find a way just to communicate. And so that's why they say the world is not a global village. There's almost nowhere in the world now where you don't have network communication to other parts of the world. The fourth reason is that it's for sexual purity. Sex is good, but it can be easily abused, and we have a lot of STDs, STIs that are ravaging lives and affecting unborn children. Because if the mother or the lady gets infected through the carelessness of the man, or through the carelessness the man gets infected, and the man now goes around, that's how the infection spread. That's what happens to the spread of HIV/AIDS that time, and we're still battling with it now. It's majorly sexually transmitted. So the other methods of transmission through sterilizing objects, contaminated objects, the highest mode of contracting it is sexual intercourse. So it's for sexual purity. You can be sure that at least you know your spouse is not playing around, so you are sure whenever you are having your copulation, your mind is at rest. Then it helps to maintain emotional balance, tension dowsing, and you have personal comfort, somebody you can share your pains, your dreams with. So let's understand this. And it's also for procreation. Okay? You can't just have children without a home. So it creates a home, the foundation, the base, the medium for adequate and appropriate growth and nurturing of children, leaders of tomorrow of our society. So if the home is not there, then the children, that's why we have a lot of problems with our children nowadays. We have them from broken homes, from single parents, and like I said, two is better than one. This work of nursing children is supposed to be combined work. So marriage is an earthly phenomenon that is designed by nature for the well-being of man. So let's work at it to nurture it for the betterment of the world we live in. So what's unique about marriage? It is designed to be a lifelong relationship. That is why those who don't go along that route and now find themselves highly unhappy and dissatisfied. It's supposed to be a lifelong relationship. That's why you hear about 50 years anniversary, 60 years anniversary, 70 years wedding anniversary. That's what I say until. So it's supposed to be a lifelong relationship. And it is exclusive. You don't say our wife, you don't say our husband. It is my wife, it is my husband. It is exclusive and it's legally exclusive at any site. That's why generally nowadays, if you do that, you're married legally and you go and say it's biker and it's actually being caught. And that has put a lot of men in trouble. So it is a lifelong commitment, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. Two hearts beating as one. What concerns your spouse concerns you. Your spouse cannot be happy and you are unhappy. And two of you have been on the same page. So the one that is happy will try to make the one unhappy happy. So what's wrong, darling? What can I do to help you? How can we deal with this situation? You work well at it together. It is an inner world. We take care of the challenges of the outer world. That's why when I was studying, I came across a statement that says, no matter what the world is throwing at you, what's happening around you, it will be easier for you to bear if you have love to give and someone to share that love with you. So please take note of that. It is a mutual agreement between two consenters will give back to what is called a home. The house you live in doesn't make a home. It is the spirit of the couple that makes the home, which is an appropriate place for the growth of the children. And remember, it is a continuous process. That is a lifelong relationship. So the question arises, or these questions come up. Is marriage obsolete, or is it an institution that is outdated? Please share your response in your comment. Is marriage slowing down or trying to slow down the evolution of humanity, the growth and development of humanity, the free-thinking attitude of humanity for betterment? Is it all right? If it's all right, then why do we have so many separations and divorces now? So we need to get answer. And what is the value and purpose of marriage now as we are in? At least some of these things, when we try to do by ourselves, companionship, you need a friend, just go to a club, go to society, you have some friends there. Is it the same? Can there be really better alternatives to this marriage we talk about? Please share your opinion